At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Welcome in to Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck, along with Adam Abdalla, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern right here on Westwood One Sports. The call or text line, 310-840-4910. You can join the show at any time throughout the show. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. So last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they sweep out the Lakers. The Lakers are done. The Thunder win last night, 115-110. They advance to the Western Conference Finals, and they await the winner between the Spurs and the Timberwolves. Game 5 tonight. Wemby will play. But also, when we look at the game last night, the Lakers didn't have enough to compete in any of these games. And is this a situation now that we look for the future of the Lakers and how they're going to handle and shape their team, and what decisions will be made with the roster, and also what will the decisions be made by LeBron James? He played really well in the playoffs this year, and he can still play at 41. He's still a very good player. But he's not a player that's going to lead a team to a championship. And it feels as if there's a split that will take place here in this offseason between LeBron and the Lakers.
And there should be. Look, he averaged 24 points in the playoffs. He averaged 7 assists in the playoffs. He's 41, and he's still a very good player. He's a decent player. He's not a number one player. I mean, look, this is also the same night where Donovan Mitchell set a playoff record for most points scored in a half. And if he goes to Cleveland, if LeBron decides to go back to Cleveland and Donovan Mitchell's still there, he's not going to be the best player for Cleveland either.
No.
Like, it's going to be Donovan Mitchell's team. So he has to decide right now if LeBron James is going to go to a team, he's going to be not necessarily like a role player, but he's going to go back and pick his final chapter, right? Like, is he going to go to like the retirement home and go to the Golden State Warriors, where he's going to be a part of the old folks with Steph and Draymond and try to get on like with everybody in the wheelchairs and try to go through and try to win a championship with all the old folks that are there?
No, Steph and Draymond, they're not in wheelchairs.
They're old.
Oh, okay.
They're old.
But
they're old.
They can still play.
Or is he going to go home
Wheelchairs.
and try to go back to Cleveland and try to like finish and win a title where he started back home in Cleveland? Or is he going to try to convince LA that he should end his career in LA and that they kind of need him? I don't think they need him. It'd be best for LA to move on and build this team around Luka and maybe not even Austin Reeves. Maybe trade Austin Reeves and bring in Giannis and do whatever they need to do. But the point is, build this team, this Lakers team, around Luka Doncic and make this new iteration of the Lakers focused around him and not LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of years have felt a little stagnant as far as the direction for the Lakers. You know, the trade that falls in their lap to land Luka is obviously the path that you take, but it's not as if this roster is ready to compete at the highest level. Now, if we go back just a couple months ago, in the month of March, this Lakers squad, healthy, was probably the third best team in the NBA, only behind the Thunder and the Spurs. In the month of March, they were playing great basketball, but it was also a healthy squad, and you had all three of those best players, LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves, all being healthy for that time. Now, if you kind of project that out to the future, I know it was reported, I believe it was The Athletic that is reporting that Luka has been, he's made it known to the Lakers organization that he wants Austin Reeves back in the mix going forward. We'll see how that contract situation plays out. I'm guessing Austin Reeves won't pick up his player option and he'll become a free agent in the offseason. I think the player option's for like $15 million. So he's a player that on the open market can get more than $15 million per year. So I'm guessing that will take place. We'll see. And with LeBron James, we can roll through all the different options, right? So it's stay in LA. You mentioned going back home to Cleveland. That can make a lot of sense. You know, you have Donovan Mitchell already. Donovan Mitchell, for the most part, is like a diet version of Dwayne Wade. And I'm saying that to be complimentary. I'm not trying to throw shade at Spida Mitchell. I'm just saying, like, he's not quite Dwayne Wade. He's pretty close. He's pretty close to Dwayne Wade in his prime. So, like, I could see Cleveland making sense. We don't know the answer with the New York Knicks on this season yet. It is possible New York continues this unbelievable run that we've seen for the last 2.5 weeks, and they win a championship. I don't think that's completely out of the realm of possibilities. But if that takes place, you don't need LeBron.
No.
it is also possible that you flame out in this next series and you don't get to the finals. And if that's the case, do the Knicks get desperate and try and do something where they pair LeBron with Jalen Brunson and they try and go that way? I think the basketball fit would make sense on the court. There's also, as you mentioned, the old folks' home in the Bay in San Francisco with the Golden State Warriors. So if you look at Steph, Draymond, Jimmy Butler coming back from injury, Steve Kerr back for 2 years, LeBron James, personality-wise, would fit with that crew. He would. I think that would make sense. Whether or not all four of those individuals can stay healthy for a full season and win games, I don't know. When Steph Curry has been healthy for full seasons, Golden State is one of the best teams in the league. Mm-hmm. He doesn't always stay healthy. They're a team that either is fighting for a championship or missing the playoffs. It's a wild thing to look at through the history of the league. A player as good as Steph Curry, the amount of times his team has missed the playoffs. And I'm the largest Curry supporter that you can find who's a basketball fan. But when you start to think about it, like, you kind of have to point out that if he's not perfectly healthy, the team misses the playoffs. That's crazy.
Well, maybe you add someone that can pick up some of the slack if and when he gets hurt in LeBron James.
Other interesting teams, with the entire cloud around the Milwaukee Bucks and how it's going to handle moving away from Giannis Antetokounmpo, could there be fallout or changes based on teams that miss out on Giannis? You mentioned Giannis to the Lakers. Okay, that could be a thought. I don't disagree there. I think Miami will be in play for Giannis. If they can't land Giannis, maybe do you reunite with LeBron down in South Beach with Bam and Tyler Hero? Is that a decent enough team? We don't know what's going to happen with Philadelphia. That's another team. They just got bounced from the playoffs, swept out by the Knicks. I would imagine there's going to be changes to the Philadelphia 76ers. Mm-hmm. And then also there's a team that's already lost in the first round of the playoffs who it's been kind of quiet on what's going on there. And I'm guessing there's going to be major changes, and that's the Denver Nuggets. Denver's out there too.
Yeah.
That's a team with a great player who needs help around him, where I'm guessing there will be changes in the offseason. All right, so to start the show, what did we do? We just rattled off like 12 teams that could be interested in LeBron James.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm guessing LeBron's going to leave Los Angeles.
Yes.
Because I think the friction and what has been taking place over the last 2 years with Luka there and Luka being the face of the franchise and everything being catered towards Luka, I don't think LeBron wants to deal with that anymore. He's no longer the guy. And with this squad, he was asked to be the third guy. And he did it for a period of time here at the second half of this season into the playoffs. But I think he can still do a little more. At 41, LeBron James can still play at the highest level. Mm-hmm. It's pretty damn good.
I think that right now, if you look at where LeBron could go, some of the options you laid out make a lot of sense. Some of the options to me make sense basketball-wise, but when LeBron is sitting down with his family and talking about it, and you're going to hear this word a lot, and I hate the word when it comes to LeBron because it's going to come up, and it's his legacy, and what this final chapter of LeBron is going to be.
Sure.
And I think it does mean something to him. And I think that just going to Philly or going to Denver just to try to squeak out one more ring, I don't think that means as much as going back to Cleveland or maybe going to Golden State and trying there, or going to New York and playing in Madison Square Garden, or going maybe back to Miami where he's already played, or staying in LA where he has his family already there. Those are the options to me. Because just saying, well, I'm just going to go to Philly or go to Denver just to ring chase. Yes, the other options are also ring chasing, because going out to Golden State and trying to do something with Steve Kerr and Steph Curry and Draymond. Yes, you are, but like,
what was the name of that movie where all the old guys linked up late
Expendables?
in their... No, not
Wild Hogs?
Wild Hogs. I feel like Steph Curry and Draymond and Jimmy Butler. I feel like if LeBron went there, it would be a Wild Hog situation.
Get the Inside the NBA graphic going. Of Wild Hogs, the movie poster of Wild Hogs with all of them on their motorcycles.
Let's see, Wild Hogs. Who are the guys in this?
It's John Travolta. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. It's Morgan Freeman.
Hold on.
Is it Morgan Freeman?
It's not Morgan Freeman.
It's not Morgan Freeman?
No, it's not.
Okay, then I have no idea. It's
All right, so it's Tim Allen.
Oh, Tim Allen. Yes.
John Travolta.
Yes.
Ray Liotta. William H. Macy.
Macy?
Yeah, and Martin Lawrence.
Oh, Lawrence. Okay.
Wild Hogs. Marissa Tomei is in it as well.
Oh, Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, she's in it. Wild Hogs. The description on IMDb for Wild Hogs. A group of suburban biker wannabes looking for an adventure hit the open road, and they get more than they bargained for when they encounter a New Mexico gang called the Del Fuegos.
Nobody's more of a suburban dad than Steph Curry, too.
Yeah, I mean, so there you go. Wild Hogs, the film. Let's see, when did this come out? What year did this come out?
Early 2000s.
Wild Hogs.
Early 2000s.
2007.
Okay.
2007.
I was close.
For Wild Hogs.
Okay.
I feel like that's your 2026, 2027 Golden State Warriors. If they land LeBron James.
There you go.
Wild Hogs.
That's perfect. That's perfect. But I think that I would rule out, I could be wrong, but I would rule out like Philly or Denver or one of those teams just because. Like just to say, oh, I'm going to team up with Jokic or I'm going to team up with.
I was just throwing those two teams out as teams that I'm expecting to make changes.
Yeah, I understand. But I think it's more about where he would want his like final chapter to be. Like that to me makes more sense. Like going back home to Cleveland makes sense. Staying with his family in LA makes sense. Playing where he's already played, where he's familiar with Pat Riley in Miami makes sense. Playing with Steph and Draymond, where he's friends with those guys and he likes Steve Kerr, that makes sense. Going and playing in Madison Square Garden, where it's like the mecca of basketball, that makes sense. Like all that stuff, that makes sense to me. New York is like the least one, just because it's kind of like the last one that makes sense to me. I think Laker fans or New York fans would kill him if it didn't work out. So, but the other ones all kind of make more sense than the other ones that are just making changes to make changes.
So last night after the game, the Thunder beat the Lakers. They sweep the Lakers out of the playoffs. LeBron James, speaking to the media, talked about his future.
You guys asked me about it, and I've answered questions. Yeah, I don't think I've come out and like, oh, retirement is coming. So, I mean, with my future, I don't know, obviously. I mean, obviously we're still fresh from, obviously losing, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously, as it stands right now tonight. I got a lot of time. I'll sit back, like I think I said it last year after we lost, I think, to Minnesota there. Go back and recalibrate with my family and talk with them and spend some time with them. And then when the time comes, I obviously, you guys know what I decide to do.
So that's LeBron James last night. It doesn't sound like to me that he's going to retire.
No.
I don't think at any point this season did I think he was going to retire. I would guess that we would all know heading into his final season. I'm guessing we will all know heading into his final All-Star game. I'm guessing we will all know. There will be documentaries made. There will be showcase shows, specials. There will be things taking place where everyone is well aware that King James is retiring from the NBA. So like that's why I think this conversation more steers towards him leaving the Lakers and where he's going to play next, because it just doesn't really make a lot of sense for LA to bring him back on a short-time deal. Like, start to shape the team around Luka. Like, I don't just like waiting for LeBron to play out his final years.
No, you move on.
I just don't think it's the right move for Los Angeles.
To to compare sports here, don't do what the Steelers did.
Ooh.
You move on. You announce now. When you start doing your exit interviews, LeBron's a free agent. You move on. When JJ Redick is up at the podium and they're doing their end of the season press conferences coming up here in a few days, you say, LeBron James is a free agent. We're moving on. Say we're done. We're building this team around Luka. We're done.
Abdalla, as we continue to talk about LeBron James here on Westwood One Sports, you can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. A team we did not mention. What about a team that has about $54 million in cap space this offseason? They're also picking fourth in the NBA draft. Could you sell a Bulls fan on perhaps bringing in LeBron James for the final few years of his career to be the leader of a young group of upstart players looking to win finally with the Chicago Bulls?
All right, now you and
Can I interest you in a LeBron James?
You and I broadcast out of the great city of Chicago every single day. You and
Come
I
on,
have,
it would complete the circle.
You and
right?
I,
like here we go. LeBron is finally back where Jordan is there, and then boom. He can go and try and win in Jordan's house to try and prove that he's better than Michael. Come on.
I don't think
it writes itself.
I don't think he would ever want to pull into the same parking lot and have to walk past that Jordan statue every day. I don't think he would do it. And having done shows in this city and hosted shows here, you and I, as long as we have, this every time he's a free agent.
Yeah, I'm good.
This topic has been broached, and we've taken thousands of phone calls from people saying thanks, but no thanks. Even when he's been in his prime.
Well, okay. It's because of what happened in 2010.
Exactly.
In the summer of 2010,
hate him.
When D. Wade, Bosh, and LeBron, they were close to signing in Chicago.
They played the Bulls, man.
They played the Bulls, but the Bulls also couldn't fit all three, and that was the issue onto the roster. And so it was out there, and Wade and LeBron were seriously considering teaming up in Chicago. Since that point, though, you're right. Like, as a Bulls fan, I don't need that. I don't need the retirement tour here. Like, no. I'm ready for a fresh start of young players who are trying to win.
Yes.
I want to be San Antonio. Yeah. I want to be Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Hell, even this year, the Charlotte Hornets were fun. Mm-hmm. Young players trying to win. I'm cool with that. I don't need LeBron. I just wanted to point out that the Bulls have a lot of cap space, and now they have a new fortune in the luck that they got in the draft lottery with the fourth pick.
Don't bring that hate on me.
I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Don't do that. I don't want that.
Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Oh, yes, we have new announcements being made from the NFL. Which games have been announced today for the upcoming schedule? We'll tell you next.
Thursday night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26, hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick, with special guest NFL VP Mike North. What's your team's toughest stretch, and where are the wins? We'll tell you Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Hanging out with you until 3 Eastern. You can always watch our show on YouTube, Bleck and Abdalla's show. The live stream is up and running. And 5 minutes ago, we were joking about LeBron James. If he were to leave the Lakers this offseason and join the Golden State Warriors, it would remind us of the film Wild Hogs. The film starring Martin Lawrence and Tim Allen, John Travolta, William H. Macy. Raj has gone to our friend, the AI slop machine, and plugged in there LeBron, Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry's faces on the cover of the album for the film Wild Hogs. So there you can see it. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, Bleck and Abdalla show, you can check it out. There you go, the Wild Hogs with LeBron James.
It's actually great. This is the best job the AI slot machine has done.
Steve Kerr looks old.
Well, Steve Kerr,
AI is not doing any favors to Steve Kerr in that picture.
Steve Kerr is old.
No, he's not that old. Look at all the wrinkles on his face.
Dude, Steve Kerr is
He
old.
is not. He is not. He doesn't look like that.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't. And
Dude.
why is Draymond so angry in the picture?
Because Draymond's old.
No, he's not. I just saw him the other night
How old do you think Steve Kerr is?
Steve Kerr, I'm guessing, is 60 plus.
He's 60.
Yeah, all right.
That's a 60-year-old man.
No, the picture, Raj, chime in here. The AI slop did Steve Kerr dirty.
So here's a fun little factoid on that. Steve Kerr initially did look a little younger than that. It initially made LeBron James look like 2003 LeBron James. And so I told the AI slop, can you make LeBron look older? It not only made LeBron look older, it also made Steve Kerr look older because that's the stuff AI does.
Okay. All right.
I
was going to say, Draymond always being angry. I just saw him on the Kevin Hart roast. He did a great job.
Yeah, his writers did a good job.
Whose writers did better, Draymond's or Tom Brady's? My God. Tom Brady.
Draymond's.
If you could show, now listen, this is not a critique on Tom Brady's calling a football game. I think he's really improved the last couple of seasons. I enjoy listening to him on an NFL game.
Yeah.
But anytime Tom Brady is walking around a stage with a mic,
stop.
Holy cow.
Stop.
The gulf in between how bad he is at that and how good of a quarterback he is could not be farther apart from each other.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. That's all I would say. Is stay in your lane, because everything else, you're right, he's very good at. He's good in commercials.
Yeah.
I feel like
yes.
he's good in commercials.
And he's good on TV.
He's good on TV.
So I get it.
The roast, that his part of the roast, the roast was pretty funny.
Sure.
Parts of it were funny.
Sure.
Parts of it were funny. I thought that Draymond's writers were decent at times. But Tom Brady's part.
I thought Chelsea Handler was good.
Chelsea Handler was funny.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. Chelsea Handler was funny.
So it was pretty good. But yes, Tom Brady. So there you go. There's the AI slop. You can see it on our YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also text the show at 310-840-4910. Flowers in Virginia texts the show. He says, man, Abdalla has a point. Legacy for sure for LeBron. He has roots in Cali, maybe the Clippers, Golden State for sure, Cleveland, Miami, I would believe. I was rooting for LeBron to beat OKC, but as a Bulls fan, that is not okay for him to join the Chicago Bulls.
He wouldn't. I don't think he would. That's well, because what is he? He's not winning anything in Chicago. That's not ring chasing. That's not legacy. That's not anything. That's just saying I want to pad my stats and do it in a Bulls uniform. Like, he's not doing anything in Chicago. Where you're going to make the play-in tournament? Like, you're not doing anything in Chicago.
No, I agree with you. I only brought it up because it is under the radar. The Bulls have a lot of cap space this offseason.
Yeah.
They lucked into the 4th pick overall. Hopefully that's a franchise-changing player.
Yeah.
They have the new front office being shaped by Bryson Graham. So, like, it seems like things are starting to turn for our favorite team. Now we just got to get on par with the New York Knicks. That's all I care about. Like can we get back to Bulls Knicks? Like, that's what that's what the NBA is missing. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. So all week long, the NFL, now we know that we have on Thursday the schedule release from the NFL. And we have a special on Thursday night right here on Westwood One Sports. 8 Eastern on Thursday night. Westwood One Sports has a special presentation, the NFL Schedule Release 26, hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick. We'll announce and break down the schedule, including primetime, international, and holiday games with guest appearances by players, coaches, and other Westwood One names you'll recognize. It's this Thursday, 8 Eastern, right here on Westwood One Sports. And also Mike North, the senior, the NFL VP of scheduling, will join the show to break down everything about the NFL schedule. So Thursday, we will get the full schedule. Finally, we will have our NFL schedule. Yes. Yes. Now, this week, I like to call it Trickle Week. It's slowly trickling out. These are not leaks. These are announcements that are being made by the TV providers, the streaming services, the broadcast partners of the NFL. So each day we are getting more and more trickle. Just drip drop out.
If your trickle lasts past Thursday evening, please go see a doctor.
And it's each day we are getting more and more information. Yesterday, we got that it's the Giants hosting the Cowboys for the first Sunday night football game of the season. Yesterday afternoon, we found out that September 17th, so this is week 2, it will be the second Thursday night game of the season. It'll be on Prime Video. The Buffalo Bills will host the Detroit Lions. So the Bills will open up their new stadium on Thursday Night Football in week 2, which really threw a lot of the guessers and the rumor folks out of whack because everyone assumed that Buffalo would be opening the season at home in a national TV spot opening weekend.
Wrong.
So it's, yes. So it's week 2, Thursday Night Football, Lions-Bills. That's going to be a good game. That's a tasty morsel of football that we have to get you started for week 2. Today, we also had more information on what the first Monday night game will be. The first Monday night game will be Broncos and Chiefs. September 14th, the game will be on ESPN, ABC. And the thing to kind of point out here is that the announcement from ESPN and ABC does not say where the game is being played.
Interesting.
Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, Monday night, September 14th, opening weekend. It's the first Monday night football game of the season. And there's no location on this game.
Why would they do that? They know the schedule comes out.
Interesting.
Like, are they debating having the Broncos game at home, the first game, and then the second game? Like, are they debating and then flip-flopping it? Like, are they debating which game to have first?
I don't know.
Are they adding another? They can't add another overseas game. They would have announced it by now.
You would think.
What are we doing here?
Or is it just people trying to read too much into something that it's not? You know, like what if it's just not on the graphic and not said, but it's Kansas City's hosting the game? You know what I'm saying? Like the graphic shows the Broncos as the first team, the second team, Kansas City. Usually the second team is the home team, right?
Maybe.
That's usually how it's done.
The difference is there's point spreads up for all these games except for that game. Because
they don't know where it's at.
Because they don't know where it's at. Exactly.
Adam Schefter's tweet says, in the tweet, the game site still has not been determined as the NFL still is finalizing its schedule for Thursday's release.
Okay, so Shefty is on it saying that there is no announcement
Interesting.
on it. Coming from ESPN.
Interesting. I do think
something or nothing. I think it's nothing. I think it's. I just think that they haven't gotten to that. They haven't figured out if they want that second date between Denver and Kansas City to be at one location or the other.
I think it's nothing.
And the games are locked into the parts of the schedule.
Yeah,
and they just don't know, and for various reasoning, which one is going to host which date.
They haven't put an at or a versus yet.
Yeah,
I do think. And as we pointed out yesterday when we were talking about these games and the possibilities, because we know Wednesday night to open the season, the Seahawks are going to host that opener as the winners of the Super Bowl do every single year. And the possibilities now are dwindling. The possibilities were the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Bears. And so now, obviously, the Chiefs removed from that because they're playing on Monday Night Football. I said the Chiefs were a risky proposition just because reports are that Patrick Mahomes is going to be ready.
Yeah.
But I said it was a risky proposition to put them out there, to put that game on national TV.
So like 4 days later is okay with you?
No. I still think it's risky. I'm still saying it's risky.
Mahomes is going to be fine.
I agree with you.
He's going to play week 1.
Of course he should be. He should be fine. I just think it's risky week 1 to put it on national TV in case there's a setback or something and we get Bo Nix Or how about this? What if there's a setback? Right now, Bo Nix just had a clean out. What if we get Jarrett Stidham?
Don't put that on
What
me.
if we get Jarrett Stidham against Justin Fields week 1 Monday Night Football?
No, that's not the case.
City against Justin Fields week 1.
No, I don't think so. We'll flex that.
Already?
Yeah, I'll flex it.
Flex it?
I'm going to watch baseball that night.
Flex?
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go watch baseball.
Flex?
While everyone else is watching backup quarterbacks duel on Monday Night Football for the first one of the season,
No,
I'm
you
gonna,
won't.
I'm going to go watch baseball.
No, you won't. It's still football.
I might go watch
won't.
with you, Black.
Abdalla knows me. I'll be watching football.
Yeah,
That's what
no,
I'll
you
be
won't.
doing.
I'm just saying, for 2 quarterbacks, one coming off of ACL surgery and one with bird ankles, like it's kind of risky to put 2 quarterbacks that are coming off of surgery on week 1 on national television. I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right.
It's a bit risky.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I think he's going to play, so I don't think you need to worry.
I agree with you.
I don't think you need to worry.
Conversely, we now have 2 opponents remaining on the musical chairs
Yep.
of who could play the Seahawks on opening night of the regular season.
And local folks in both the Boston
Of course
area
they are.
and in Chicago both think that the Seahawks will host the Patriots and the Bears. So it will be all 3 teams are going to play on the opening night in Seattle.
Yeah.
It will be Chicago, New England, Seattle death match.
Yeah.
Loser leaves town.
I think they should have to play each other to find out who plays Seattle.
Because people in Chicago are reporting that Chicago is playing against Seattle to open the season, and people in Boston are also reporting that New England is going to play Seattle the opening weekend. So guess what, folks? Somebody's wrong.
Someone's wrong.
Somebody out there is incorrect. Yes. And guess what? We will all find out on Thursday.
We'll find out.
It won't be a mystery on Thursday.
We'll find out when we find out.
Someone's wrong, and we will find out. That's what I find is so funny about the schedule release stuff, and that's why I say they trickle
Sources.
out. They trickle out the information because the announcements are taking place from the broadcast partners because the upfronts are taking place this week. So you get ABC announcing the Monday night matchup of Kansas City and Denver. It's during their announcement, the Disney announcement for the upfronts. Yesterday, we got the games that we did yesterday because they were announcing the upfronts of what they're doing. The one game that we have yet to mention that is locked in and announced by the NFL, the afternoon game on Thanksgiving, the Cowboys game, the Cowboys will be hosting the Eagles. So, it's always Cowboys in that second game on Thanksgiving. Cowboys-Eagles. That's a great matchup.
It's a great game.
For your second game on Thanksgiving. And personally, the way I like it as a fan, I think I always like Green Bay in that spot against Detroit. I always like Detroit, Green Bay, and I like it when the Cowboys play a rival. I don't like the games when you get Cowboys, and I know it goes way back, the Dolphins, or Cowboys, and I think Raj would remember Denver played in that game against the Cowboys once, and I think Peyton Manning with a naked boot ran for a touchdown.
Baby.
Yeah, right. Didn't he pull off the naked boot where nobody thought he had the football?
Faked out his future teammate DeMarcus Ware on the play.
Yeah, so I remember that's a classic football moment. So Cowboys Eagles, the second game on Thanksgiving. That's
a good one. That's a good one.
That's what you want to see. So I believe as far as network announcements go, I don't know if we're going to get any more trickle or drip drops today. I think Disney was the only company that had
What, are
an
we tying
upfront.
it off?
Well, no, tomorrow there's going to be a flow. Tomorrow there's going to be a bit of a flow tomorrow.
Just remember,
Yeah.
if you're trickle after Thursday, go see a doctor. All right?
Yes. So there you go. That's the latest information that we have from the National Football League. The announcements today. Yes. What's wrong, Adam? What are you thinking about there? Tying it off? What?
No, there's always those drug commercials that if you're allergic to the drug, don't take the drug.
Well, there's one thing is we are not allergic to the football.
No. God, no.
We are not.
Could you imagine? Oh,
We are not that.
Ugh.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports Pollen season is here, but a dirty car doesn't have to be. Wash it away with Tidal Wave Auto Spa for a quick wash and that clean car happy feeling. Find a location at TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. Abdalla, I want to bring this to your attention. Did you see that the NFL is changing the playing surface in stadiums this summer? The NFL is doing this. They're changing the playing surface in stadiums this summer. The Players Association isn't necessarily thrilled with this.
Oh.
The decisions made by the NFL. We'll tell you about that coming up next.
Thursday night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26, hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick, with special guest NFL VP Mike North. What's your team's toughest stretch, and where are the wins? We'll tell you Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Check out the podcast on Apple and Spotify, and also you can always watch the show on YouTube live every single day right there on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Bleck and Abdalla Show on YouTube. All right, Abdalla, we are under a month from the start of the World Cup. 2026 FIFA World Cup will kick off. I believe it's June 11th is when the first game takes place. Now, the World Cup will be hosted in North America. So the United States are co-hosting with Canada and Mexico for the different sites for the tournament. And many of the sites are NFL stadiums that are being used for the World Cup. And to get the bid to be selected to host the World Cup, there's a lot of rules that FIFA puts in place to the hosting nations for what they need to pull off these games. And one of those items is that they need all stadiums to have fresh grass surfaces. They need grass cut a specific way for soccer players, and also they need it to be real. And we know as football fans that many places around the country have gone to a mixture of like a field turf surface. Like I think Green Bay, doesn't Green Bay's surface mix in real grass with the field turf?
It's like sewn in, yeah.
So like many of these places, including the dome stadiums, like in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, they have to have real grass turf for the World Cup. Now, that whole thing, it makes sense, right? Like if you're someone that watches soccer, maybe if you're someone that's never watched soccer, you're like, oh, that's a thing. It's a thing. To people who are soccer fans around the world, it has to be a pristine pitch for the matches, right? So the NFL and the NFL stadiums are doing what FIFA needs to host this tournament. And the Players Association is not happy.
No.
Because the NFL stadiums will be featuring the grass turf, and the players want grass turf. They don't want this field turf stuff. And quite honestly, as a fan who's not playing on it, and I'm just watching on TV, it looks better when it's grass.
Absolutely.
It looks way better than anything else.
Yeah, it does. And I completely get their point. Completely understand. In fact, I've already seen video of a couple of the stadiums. I know Philly has already started installing the grass. Like a lot of these stadiums have already started installing it so it can get
MetLife.
So it can grow and already get set in time for these matches that take place in a month.
I know MetLife is hosting the championship game of the World Cup. And MetLife, they were showing photos over the weekend of installing the turf. SoFi will have real grass in it. All of the stadiums hosting the World Cup will have real grass, and many of them don't usually have real grass for the NFL. So that's where the Players Association, the head of the Players Association, J.C. Treader, was on a podcast. He was on the Cam Hayward Not Just Football podcast. Side story quickly. Cam Hayward, wasn't that the same podcast at the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
That when you and I and Raj were setting up our broadcast, there was a guy, a huge dude.
Yeah.
Over in the corner, setting up his own booth by himself, doing the work. And then he turns around and it's Cam Hayward.
He was helping.
Like, wait, what?
He was helping the audio engineers that they have.
Like install the stuff for their booth at the Super Bowl.
The background, and it's like he got there early. Like he
help out.
He could have just been like regular talent and just showed up whenever.
Like Abdalla, just show up when it's showtime.
Or like Chris and just go be MIA before the show starts, and then just show up right and put on his headphones and go. But no, Walter Payton Football Man of the Year, Cam Hayward, is there setting up the set.
Setting up the set.
Moving chairs, carrying stuff. It's great.
So J.C. Treader was on Not Just Football with Cam Hayward talking about how the players want grass fields.
What we want is good grass fields. We want good, solid fields. You don't just want pull out the Muni golf course grass out on every field. You want high quality surfaces. I think one thing is understanding what our players care about, and there is something there that the data hasn't been able to spit back out at us. Which, if you ask every player, we polled 1,700 players, 92% say they want grass over turf. Yeah. There is something about the feeling of being on grass that your body feels different. I think if you ask the coaches, just standing on grass versus standing on turf for 3 hours feels different. There is something there that impacts the body.
So that's Treader. Treader also went on to talk about how the players don't make money from the non-games at venues that affect the condition of the field.
So I think it's important for us to have metrics to enforce them, making sure the stadiums are being used predominantly for football games, right? Especially when, having concerts and monster truck rallies. Those are all things that the owners make money off. The players don't make money off it. So the idea of, hey, we're going to host these events, that means we have to put a worse surface on there for you, and you don't actually get any of that money for those events we're hosting, isn't a great thing for players either. And that's what we got to evaluate in the next deal.
So there you go. The head of the NFLPA saying that they would like the grass turfs to continue in the NFL stadiums, and I love it. They should. And for any non-professional athlete, if you've ever been on a turf field and then you compare that to being on real grass, there is no difference. The real grass is the best way to go.
He's not wrong, and the players aren't wrong, and the owners make millions and millions of dollars from the NFL at the beginning of every year and every league year. The NFL cuts each owner a check from the TV money that they get, from the revenue that the league gets. They each get a lump sum of money. And then if you own your stadium, you get, like we just heard, revenue from every single concert, every single other event, monster truck route, everything that happens at your stadium, you get revenue from. So why not put that back into the stadium and have grass out there? So if you need to resod your field before a game, in between concerts, schedule
Well,
better.
I mean, aren't we also getting to the point where we realize that the injury impact of the turf fields is not helpful to the players?
Absolutely
not. The non-contact knee injuries that take place on a field turf surface where you don't have the natural give of grass. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the difference. When spikes meet grass, there is a natural ripping of the grass. The turf moves a little. Everything underneath, it's all pliable. But when it's a field turf, it stays. And that, I think that's what leads to the tearing of tendons and knee injuries and things that you see where a player is just making a cut and then he goes down like a sack of bricks.
But owners don't care about that. They care about how much it costs to resod the field.
I mean, I think some may care about it because it hurts your chances of being successful and making more money because your team's good. I mean, like, injury impact the bottom line in the NFL.
Depends.
Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. We have 10 lingering questions in the NFL offseason. We'll tell you about those coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck, along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago until 3 Eastern. Hanging out with you. You can call or text the show on our call or text line, 310-840-4910, as we're continuing to monitor the drip drop and the trickle down of the NFL schedule release. as little games are announced throughout the entire week until we get to Thursday, when the full schedule is announced and everyone can celebrate that we will know football will take place in the fall. Like, it is kind of ridiculous, the amount of attention that we all pay attention to this day and this conversation. But, like, it's what we care about.
It's awesome.
Like it's what I want to know. I want to know
why you a
how
hater?
My favorite team, how the first month shapes up. I want to know, can my favorite team get off to a 4-0 start? I want to know, is my favorite team playing on the holidays?
Yeah.
I want to know, how many Monday night games? How many Sunday night games? That's all stuff that I like knowing, and I like figuring this stuff out. So we will all get that information on Thursday. And little announcements are announced throughout the day. The new one today, Kansas City, Denver, will be the first Monday night game. Schefter is saying that they don't know the location yet.
Yes.
So it's mysterious. The location, Kansas City, Denver, has not been released, but it'll be the first Monday night game of the season.
Like, everyone's making plans around these games, too, because, like you said, you want to know if your team is playing around holidays. Yesterday, we got the announcement that one of the Thanksgiving games, the second Thanksgiving game that the Dallas Cowboys always host, is going to be Eagles at Cowboys. And immediately, I just go, ugh. Because I have a cousin.
What's the problem there?
I have a cousin that's a diehard Cowboys fan that comes to Thanksgiving every year, and my stepfather is a diehard Eagles fan.
Oh, a little conflict at the dinner table.
And I just went, ugh.
Oh, a little conflict.
Yes, a little conflict at the dinner table.
I like that.
And I'm just like,
that's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good for them. And I'm like, I'm not gonna sit in between you guys during this. Like, I gotta sit here and deal with this now because like they're both supposed to be good too. It's different when one of them's bad.
Yeah.
It's different when one of them's gonna get manhandled.
I'm expecting. Let's mark it down right now. Mark it down right now. That game will go a long way to who wins the division.
Wow.
Cowboys, Eagles on Thanksgiving.
For the division.
For the division.
Wow.
That will be a tilt.
For all the turkey.
It will be on the table.
For all the stuffing.
There'll be stuffing. There'll be the cranberry sauce will be there. The whole deal. The whole shebang. It will be there on Thanksgiving afternoon, Cowboys and Eagles. So we will continue to update the latest information put out by the NFL, and the schedule release will be on Thursday as well. We'll have a special on Thursday night, 8 Eastern, right here on Westwood One Sports. Scott Graham and Mike Golick will host that show. It'll be really good, and you can get all the information for the NFL schedule release on Thursday. Abdalla, I have a article here on ESPN.com from Dan Graziano. It's titled 2026 NFL Offseason, Making Sense of 10 Lingering Questions. So these are lingering questions from around the National Football League as we sit here after the draft, after free agency, and now we await the schedule to be released as teams have their OTAs later this month, and the offseason program is in full swing. So let's start with this one. First lingering question that I want to get to. Why, and we were just talking about this team who's hosting the Eagles on Thanksgiving afternoon. Why didn't the Cowboys want to extend George Pickens? And that's one of the lingering questions to this offseason, and a topic that we've talked about at length here on the show here in the offseason.
I would imagine just cost, right? Just cost, because if you look at what the CeeDee Lamb contract is right now, and if you look at what they're paying Dak right now, you know, CeeDee Lamb is on a 4-year, $136 million deal. He signed that extension in August of 2024. So that runs through 2029. They've already had to deal Micah Parsons away because they didn't want to pay him. So this is just, I think, a negotiating tactic. Maybe you see an extension before the season starts. Maybe you see a trade before the season starts. I don't know what their plan is with George Pickens, but I would imagine that it's just a negotiating tactic, or they're just in a money crunch right now.
Well, Graziano also points to on ESPN.com that perhaps one of the reasons, and Stephen Jones said a few weeks ago, is that Pickens is still new to Dallas, so they haven't had a lot of time with him, and they haven't seen him produce in consecutive years before. They want to see that before giving him the contract, right? Like last year, he had great numbers. CeeDee Lamb missed a lot of games. So in many of those situations, he was the number one guy. So Is that going to fly when CeeDee Lamb is always healthy and maybe not the touchdown numbers are the same? What Pickens had 8 touchdowns last year, I think is the number. So so we'll see on that. But that was the first lingering question that caught my eye from this column on ESPN.com. The next one: why didn't the Giants draft Caleb Downs with the 10th pick? They took Francis Mauigoa, which adds to their offensive line. And Caleb Downs, which we were told before the draft was the best player in the draft, he fell to 11. The Cowboys jumped up. They select Caleb Downs. I love that pick for the Cowboys. Why didn't the Giants take Caleb Downs with the 10th pick?
I mean, when you identify them, as Graziano said, they identified him as the best offensive lineman in the draft. Why do you not want to protect what you think is your franchise quarterback? Why do you not want to get the best protection? You draft in the trenches when you draft that high in the draft. If you believe you're not going to be drafting that high for a while, and the Giants think that they can go and win a few more games this year and maybe be one of these teams that go from worst to first or make a wild card, berth this year. So I would say that if you think that you've identified the best player at that position and it happens to be an offensive lineman, which is a premium position, I would absolutely take that player, which is what they did. And we know the history of Jackson Dart and his concussion problems. So why wouldn't you take a player that is going to protect your most valuable asset at quarterback? That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is a question based on Caleb Downs as a talent is certainly someone that falling to 11 was surprising on draft night. But walking away from the draft with Arvell Reese and Francis Mauigoa,
yeah,
I loved what the Giants did. So I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but it is a question that Graziano wrote about on ESPN.com. Next question. Why didn't the Vikings trade J.J. McCarthy?
So I think there's a couple reasons here. And I know that what Graziano says is they already paid about 70% of his contract. You're not going to get that much back for him because the belief is that Kyler Murray is going to start. So you're essentially trading for a backup. Everybody's starting quarterback is essentially set at this point. You're not paying a lot for Kyler Murray because the Cardinals are paying for all of his salary. You're essentially just paying the veteran minimum for him. So they're going to get an equal opportunity to start. It's going to be believed as a true quarterback battle. There's one point here. What if J.J. McCarthy beats him out? What if Kyler Murray coming back from injury isn't the same? We've seen it before. Deshaun Watson coming back from a year off, albeit not from injury, because he's not a great person and was suspended, wasn't the same. And then when he did come back from injury, also wasn't the same. So if Kyler Murray coming back from injury isn't the same Kyler Murray that we've seen in the past, what if J.J. McCarthy does beat him and is a better quarterback? The second option is this is just a year-long deal for Kyler Murray. What if he is great and does want to sign with another team and doesn't want to stay in Minnesota and decides to leave and go to another team? Then you're in another quarterback conundrum. If you're the Vikings, then you do have to have another quarterback, and J.J. McCarthy's still sitting there. So there's two reasons why they could not have traded him.
Yeah, and I do think it's fair. If you're Minnesota, you want to try and get the most out of J.J. McCarthy, no doubt. And the fact that you drafted him, you still give him a chance. And what Graziano is pointing to is that he writes that people he's talked to who are close to the situation say that the Vikings have not given up on McCarthy. That's fair. Why would you? He wasn't so bad. This wasn't like Josh Rosen. You know, Josh Rosen, when he was selected by the Cardinals, he immediately could not play. And it was very obvious he could not play. You know, so like Zach Wilson is another name that comes to mind as a player that from the moment he was in a Jets helmet, you knew he wasn't going to be good. You knew it wasn't going to be the case.
Yeah.
Like, I do think some seasoning on J.J. McCarthy might get you to what you need at some point. I just don't know if it's going to happen in the next 2 seasons. It may take more time than that. And I think that's why it's an interesting piece of conversation. And it's going to be one of the biggest storylines that we follow when we head to training camp is the battle at quarterback in Minnesota. That's going to be one of the top stories. 10 questions in the NFL offseason that are still lingering. This is from Dan Graziano on ESPN.com. Next question. Why didn't the Steelers try harder to upgrade at quarterback?
Bro, I don't know. Like, this is something we've debated for the last...
Next question.
We've debated this for a month now as they sit and wait for Aaron Rodgers and try to get the most out of now Drew Aller that they drafted a few weeks ago and Will Howard and Mason Rudolph. Like, you're sitting here waiting for this guy that is maybe in Pittsburgh and has yet to sign. And he's just hanging out in Pittsburgh now and hasn't signed yet. You should have done something months ago when free agency started. You should have signed either Malik Willis or traded for Geno Smith or done something and have that as the backup option to Aaron Rodgers. You should have done something, because at least if that doesn't work out, then you can say, hey, we tried, and at least now we're in an opportunity to draft one of the high-end quarterbacks in this year's upcoming draft. Now you're just sitting here on your hands waiting, and McCarthy's running his quarterback school for Drew Aller and Will Howard.
Yes.
And look, if Aaron Rodgers decides to retire or doesn't like what he hears from the Steelers as part of an offer, then you go with Drew Aller as a third-round draft pick. And if it doesn't work, then you get a first-round draft pick and you can draft your quarterback of the future. That's fine, too, I think. And what he says is what irks Steelers fans is the recent inability to rise above the status quo. All right, so tank for a year. Just go with Malik Willis and see if that gets you something somewhere. Either it gets you a playoff spot with Malik Willis and you're like, okay, maybe he can be something. Or it gets you a top 5 quarterback in this year's draft.
Yeah.
At least it's a direction.
Bro, I don't know. I agree. I agree with you. I feel like we all see it. I'm sure Steeler fans see it as well. Okay, next question. Why didn't the Browns cut Deshaun Watson?
Cash money.
Yeah, but Graziano points out that the fully guaranteed $46 million, he's going to get if he's with the Browns or not. So if you thought that you had Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel to step in and to be the starter long term, then you just could have cut Deshaun Watson and just ate the money and just been done with it. But there's a chance he beats out Shedeur Sanders for the starting gig and is actually the best quarterback on the roster.
That's what it is if you're paying him anyway, you might as well pay to see if he's got anything left. You have a championship caliber defense. You have a great defense. You might as well. You drafted offensive line. You drafted weapons. You might as well see if you're going to pay the guy, you might as well pay him to be on the team and work and say, hey, if you win the job, go out there and try for a little bit. If it doesn't work out, we've got Shedeur Sanders. We've got Dylan Gabriel. If it doesn't work for a few weeks, we put in Shedeur. If Shedeur doesn't work for a couple weeks, we put in Dylan Gabriel. Worst case scenario, the Browns are picking second or third, and then they get their quarterback of the future, and they get to do this all again next year.
And you know that Cleveland has their new head coach, Todd Monken.
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Yeah, cool. He missed the photo with all the other head coaches because he was...
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
He was just trying to get a sweet haircut. So you got Monken, you got Deshaun Watson, you've got Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, and they also they took the quarterback. Didn't they select a quarterback in the 4th or 5th round as well?
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
So they've got a lot of quarterbacks. And so the question of why didn't they cut Deshaun Watson is out there from Graziano. This piece is on ESPN.com. 10 lingering questions for the NFL offseason. Next up, why didn't the Texans extend C.J. Stroud?
Because of the unknown. The super unknown is the shirt he was wearing, the Soundgarden album.
The Texans picked up the 5th-year option for 2027, but they have yet to give him a new contract. Now, it is possible that they could go the route of franchise tagging C.J. Stroud if they don't have an answer on him being the quarterback for the future for the team.
They're in a much better situation, obviously, than the Browns are. They have a championship-level defense. They've got the best defensive line in the NFL. They've got two of the top 10 defensive players in the NFL, 2 of the top 3 defensive players in the NFL, probably. And Will Anderson's probably one of the top 3. So I would say that right now, everything relies on C.J. Stroud. If C.J. Stroud plays better this year and can get you to an AFC championship game, then you have a very good problem on your hands and you have to figure out what you're going to pay him. If he regresses and you miss the playoffs because of him, then you have a bad problem on your hands and you got to figure out, are you going to draft a quarterback in this year's draft? in one of these with one of these good quarterbacks out there.
They're not going to be that bad though. That defense is way too good.
But if he is that bad, if he is turning the ball over, if he is costing you games,
man, that would be wild.
We saw it with the Browns, man. We saw it with bad quarterback play and a championship level defense.
No, I'm saying like as far as a single player to have the season he had as a rookie to take a backslide like that.
You have to make a decision. You can't just be in the middle.
That'd be crazy.
You can't just be in the middle. You have to look at where you are in the conference. The conference is better. You're not in the NFC where it's just a bunch of okay teams. The AFC is so much better. And in the cluster of AFC quarterbacks, CJ Stroud is nowhere near that top 5, top 6, top 7 guys. And if you got to upgrade, like look at that defense. You can't let that defense go to waste if CJ Stroud continues to struggle and continues to slide.
All right, the final 4 questions, we'll roll through these quickly. Here you go. Why didn't the Seahawks reward Sam Darnold with a new deal after winning the Super Bowl? That's a question that's in the column.
Because you signed a contract, man.
Why didn't the Rams do more in the draft to help their 2026 team? I feel like that's a topic that we've discussed at length here on the show.
Because,
Ty Simpson, same size as Bleck Abdalla, sitting there on draft night.
He's not the same size as Bleck Abdalla.
He's almost the same size as that. Look at the photo.
He's not the same size
as Bleck Abdalla. Go watch the
Abdalla.
video on our YouTube channel, Bleck Abdalla's show. He is the same size as us sitting there.
You got to plan for the future. I wouldn't have done it there, but you got to plan for the future somehow.
Why didn't the 49ers trade Brandon Ayuk?
I almost said something that would have gotten dumped and gotten us kicked off the air because they're not nice.
And finally, why didn't the Dolphins trade Devon Achane?
Because they did not get the offer. They're not getting the return that they like.
So there you go. There are the 10 lingering questions in the NFL offseason from Dan Graziano on ESPN.com. It's a good column. It goes through a lot of the information, a lot of the conversations we've had here on the show over the course of the last 2 months. Those are all things that we've talked about.
I think the interesting conversation is about Sam Darnold and his extension. He just signed an extension. Like, he just got a contract. He just got to the Seahawks.
Yeah, but he played better.
Okay.
You play better, you get more money, more paper.
Did he play better in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was, And
he led the league in turnovers.
Yeah, but in the NFC Championship game, he was awesome.
In one game.
Yeah, it was the previous week where
he led the league in turnovers.
Wasn't great.
He led the league in turnovers.
Yeah, sure. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Do you want the team to continue winning, or do you want to overpay your quarterback and be hamstrung for the rest of the time and have not be able to have a dynasty? Like, what do you want to do?
No, I mean, you pay the best wide receiver in football, and they're doing that.
Okay.
And then, Sam Darnold, you just figure it out as you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Sam Darnold to me is like you're going on a road trip, right? This is where my brain has gone with this.
You and the road trips, man. Wild hogs and road trips. And
you and I are going on a road trip, but we have yet to plan where we're going to eat along the way. We'll just figure it out. That's Sam Darnold.
Okay.
The Seahawks just figure it out, man. Like, you don't have to say, hey, 100 miles into this road trip, we're going to stop at this restaurant at this time. We'll just figure it out.
Yeah, but we just ate before we left.
It's fine. We'll figure it out.
We just ate.
You'll be hungry again, and Sam Darnold will need new paper at some point. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Check it out. A Westwood One Sports special presentation. The NFL Schedule Release 26, hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick, will announce and break down the schedule, including primetime, international, and holiday games. We'll have a guest appearance by VP of NFL Scheduling, Mike North. We'll have guest appearances by players, coaches, and other Westwood One names that you recognize who covered the NFL. That's all Thursday at 8 Eastern right here on Westwood One Sports. We will go to power rankings coming up, and we will talk about the NFL schedule and compare the power rankings to the movie industry. We'll do that next.
Who's making a run? And who's done? We're just a few games away from the NBA Finals. Get daily NBA playoff reaction on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Broadcasting each and every day live from the city of Chicago. Hanging out with you until 3 Eastern. Bleck Abdalla. At this time every day, we go on out to parts unknown in Colorado. And that's where we find Raj Sharon. And today, it's Power Rankings with Raj. Hello, Raj.
Hello, Bleck. Hello, Abdalla. And today for Power Rankings, we're going to go even further west to Laura's neck of the woods. We're going to Hollywood, okay? Because the Hollywood bigwigs, they got to get together when they greenlight projects, and they got to figure out, look, is this thing going to put butts in seats? Is this thing going to sell tickets? So today for Power Rankings, we're going to do the NFL schedule edition of it, with the schedule release coming out on Thursday. So we're going to sit there like they do in the league office and decide, okay, as we're making schedules, where are we going to put this team? Where are we going to put that team? We are going to start off, Abdalla, with the Daniel Day-Lewis division. Yes, Daniel Day-Lewis, the greatest living actor not named Keanu Reeves. Essentially, you're an amazing actor, but you don't necessarily put the butts in seats. What teams are we putting in the Daniel Day-Lewis division? Good team, but I don't know if we're going to draw America's eyeballs, Abdalla.
Okay, so you want just teams? You don't want whole divisions. You want just teams
just
to
do
put
teams?
in these divisions.
Teams in the
Box
divisions.
draw. Box office draw.
Okay.
We're looking at it.
Chargers definitely go in there.
Okay.
Chargers go in there. They're a good team, but I don't know if people are lining up to see Herbert and Harbaugh. They're not box office material. I don't know about that. I'm also going to put. I don't know if people. I know that Baker Mayfield is a name, but I don't know if the Bucks are if people are like Monday Night Football, the Bucks. I don't know if people are lining up for that. So I'm going to throw the Bucks in there. Those are going to be my two teams of the good teams, of the quality teams. I'm going to throw those two teams in there.
That's interesting.
So we've got the Bucks and the Baker Mayfield, Daniel Day-Lewis. Only on Bleck and Abdalla could we compare these two.
I would say, based on the way that we're laying this out there, Daniel Day-Lewis, accomplished in the world of acting, a winner, right? Like, he's won Best Actor multiple times.
Harbaugh's won?
Yeah. To me, this feels very Seattle Seahawks. You win the Super Bowl, you are likely to be a very good team this upcoming season. But when you look at the sizzle compared to some of the other quarterbacks around the NFL, some of the other teams, some of the other cities, usually box office draw, Seattle isn't at the top of the board. And think back to heading into the Super Bowl. We had the options of the 4 teams in the conference championship games from each conference. And every combination of the Super Bowl we wanted to see last year had Seattle in the one that was least likely that we would want to see.
Yeah.
It was Los Angeles and then Denver.
Yeah.
Or it was any combination, New England and the Rams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the box office draw. So to me, if you say who's the Daniel Day-Lewis of the schedule release and the team that's going to get, they're going to be placed, around on the schedule in big spots, but maybe they don't draw like others, it's Seattle.
Okay.
Seattle Seahawks, that's Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay.
Like where your head's at, Bleck. All right, next up, the Michael Bay division. Probably not going to win any big awards. Probably not going to be too high on Rotten Tomatoes. But what can I say? People like going and watching some Transformer slop. So who is in your Michael Bay division, Bleck?
Okay, here we go. Let's get into it. I think there are 2 teams that jump out in my mind very quickly.
About to lose it.
Yeah, there are 2 teams that I think this is. It's the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
The Dallas Cowboys are that team, and I don't want to offend people locally, but this could be this upcoming season a bit of the Chicago Bears.
It's always been the Chicago Bears.
It could be the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys.
The Chicago Bears could win 3 games a year. They get the maximum amount of primetime games.
Bears Cowboys. This is very Michael Bay-esque. Is Bears Cowboys, Raj? That's where I'm going with this.
Okay, so to go the opposite direction and to give you 2 other teams that I can think of, the Pittsburgh Steelers are always on national TV.
Yeah.
Always on national TV.
Yeah, you're
and they're
right.
always 500.
They're never
They're
bad.
always
They
500.
may not be award winning, but they're not Transformers 4 either.
Yeah, but they're slop, dude. They're literally slop. Pittsburgh Steelers. And then the other one is, I feel like They haven't been good in a while. It's the Giants. They haven't been good, but they're always on national TV. They haven't been good.
Okay.
They haven't won anything in a while.
All right, yeah. Yeah, big TV market. Okay. I got
All
you.
right, Abdalla, we're continuing our Power Rankings schedule edition as if we are Hollywood producers. Next up, the man who single-handedly may have saved Hollywood. You weren't putting Top Gun Maverick on a streaming service under his watch. The Tom Cruise division, quality product and box office results. Abdalla.
Oh, man. Listen, you want high quality. You want, let's go with the New England Patriots. Let's go with the Buffalo Bills.
Wow, you're off. You're way
How
off.
am I
on
way
this one.
off?
Finish up.
Josh Allen?
Go ahead.
Josh Allen is in box office. Drake May and the New England Patriots is in box office. Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals are in box office. Let's see who else. I'm going to go with and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's it. That's the answer.
Those
it's
are my
Kansas
four.
City.
Those are my four.
That's my one for you, Raj. It's
One?
Kansas City. It's quality product, box office results every single time. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid. It's Tom Cruise because the way I look at it and how the categories are kind of laid out, you get the quality product, box office results. Tom Cruise has never won a statue, right? So, like, if you wanted to say Kansas City will not win going forward, but they're the box office draw, the team that will be featured a lot heavily with Patrick Mahomes, I could get that.
Then
as
the
well.
Bills are perfect.
Sure.
Josh Allen's the perfect answer for that.
Okay.
Box office, never won. Fireworks, high scoring.
So there you go.
All right, next up, guys, the Jared Leto division. It doesn't matter if it's DC, Marvel, Tron. This guy is box office poison. You put him in your movie, nobody's coming out to see it. Who's in your Jared Leto division, Bleck?
See, okay, this is what's tough because you would have to give a different sport for the answer, right? Like, because everyone watches all football at all times.
Yeah.
So you can't even dip into college because people are watching college football like never before. So to truly say that people are not watching something, you would have to pull, the NBA regular season ratings and say that like it's Adam Silver. To give you an answer in the NFL, it's the Jets, right? Like it's the New York Jets. The Jets are, like the classic example is they get Aaron Rodgers to be their quarterback, and he hurts himself running out onto the field. It's the first, like he's in the game for no time at all, and he's injured. So it's the Jets. It's always the Jets.
It's a Thursday night. We're at work. We don't remember the schedule. Hey, you know who's playing tonight? And somebody goes, yeah, it's the Jets.
Yeah, I don't want to watch the Jets.
Maybe I won't
Come
watch
on.
tonight.
It's the Arizona Cardinals.
Good one.
It's the Arizona Cardinals.
The
You're
now
like, the
Kyler
Cardinals are on
Murray-less
tonight?
Arizona
Who wants to watch
Cardinals?
the Cardinals tonight? Nobody wants to watch the Cardinals. No one's even a Cardinals fan. Who's a Cardinals fan?
That's not right. There's good people out there in Phoenix who enjoy the Cardinals.
Good for them. I'm proud of them.
Send your angry comments at Adam A. Abdalla.
Adam A. Abdalla.
And also text the show, 310-840-4910.
Cross-platform.
All right, guys, next division, whether it's Fast and the Furious or, whatever other, Jumanji, Skyscraper, whatever he's got going on, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson division, just good old dumb fun. Abdalla?
This one's tough.
Oh, I've got my team.
Go ahead.
All right, Jacksonville. With
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
Good, dumb fun.
that's a good
Yeah,
one.
playoff team. They lost at home in the playoffs, but last year, like in the final 2 months of the season, we were questioning, like, is Jacksonville really that good? Could they make a run to the Super Bowl? Nah, they can't.
No.
But they're good fun, and I'll watch the Jags play.
I'll put Baker in this one, too. I'll put Baker in this one.
Baker makes sense.
Baker's good for this
Yeah.
one. I'll put Baker in
He
this one.
makes sense for that.
And
All right.
I love watching I guess they haven't won anything, so the 49ers. I'll throw the 49ers in this one, too, because it's fun watching that offense when they're healthy and not near a substation because their ACLs are dust.
It's a good one. They score points. They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
You don't win a whole lot. I
Yeah.
like it. It's like a popcorn flick. That's the Rock
Yeah.
division. All right, and finally, guys,
Yes.
arguably the greatest director of all time, But when was his last hit? We respect our history, but E.T. wasn't yesterday. The Steven Spielberg division. Who are we putting in the Steven Spielberg division, Abdalla?
Now, this one might be the Bears. This one might be the Bears.
They don't have enough hits.
They don't have any. Well, if they got one hit,
It would be like if Spielberg released Jaws and then never released anything else that was good.
This
again.
might be the Bears. This might be the This might be the Pittsburgh Steelers. You could throw them in there. They haven't won since Roethlisberger left.
I think the Steelers. Okay, so it's two teams, right? It's if you want to look at the history of the NFL, there are two. I could make a case for three. It's Pittsburgh. It's now Las Vegas, so the Raiders franchise.
Okay.
And it's Washington.
Ooh, okay.
Right? Like Washington, Pittsburgh, and the Las Vegas Raiders throughout the history of the league, dating back to the 70s and the 80s and even into the early 90s, especially with Washington. And we know that Pittsburgh has won since then as well. They've all collectively won. Two of those teams were lukewarm on their outlook for this season. I think the Commanders are going to be pretty good this year, but I think that's a good collection of teams.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like the Cowboys don't really fit this.
No.
Although you could, because I guess to Raj's point, and he asks us, when was his last hit? I mean, if you look at Spielberg, when was his last hit? The Fablemans? No. It wasn't West Side Story. 2018, Ready Player One? No.
Good book.
The West Side Story won awards, though.
I'm not talking about awards. I'm talking about movies that we would say are great
division
movies.
Abdalla.
Yeah. We're talking about the movies. When you say Spielberg, you think great movies like Jaws, like Jurassic Park, like, let's see, Indiana Jones.
Probably
and,
Saving
the
Private
trilogy
Ryan.
there.
I think Saving Private Ryan would be the last movie that probably fits the criteria, and that was 98.
Munich was pretty good, and that was 2005.
Yeah, Munich was good. Lincoln was good, but I don't know if they were necessarily smash hits. We're looking for smash hits.
No, not like the ones before. Catch Me If You Can. I mean, we're going back to the early 2000s. Minority Report, totally underrated movie. Minority Report. But Raj, you're right. When you want to say Spielberg directing like some of the greatest films of all time, like it kind of ends at Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, 1998. Hence the Steven
Steelers
Spielberg
might be
division.
a good one.
Steelers were good. They fit the criteria. I think we made a good schedule,
Catch Me If You Can's
guys.
a great movie.
I think we've mapped out a plan to get some butts in seats, and maybe some people will watch the NFL this season. Good job, guys. That does
maybe they will.
Catch Me If You Can was 2002.
Thank you, Raj.
That's a great
Thank you.
movie. You guys are high.
See what you did there, Raj. Now Abdalla's going to be upset about this for the rest of the show. You disrespected Catch Me If You Can.
That's a great movie.
We're not saying it's not a
We didn't say
great
it wasn't
movie.
good.
It is not on the same level as Jurassic Park and Jaws.
Minority Report was his last great one. 2002.
Okay. That's what we were just saying.
You said Saving Private Ryan was his last one, 98.
We said it was
but
his
I
last
said
smash
it's a
hit.
great movie, but it's not on the same level as Saving Private Ryan. Are you listening to this show?
Your standards are too high. No respect for Lincoln.
Well, it's the double pack of Lincoln and Warhorse. That movie was terrible. Warhorse?
Both of them felt like watching homework.
I will say, Disclosure Day coming out this summer. Looking forward to it.
He's back.
I'm looking forward to it.
Real aliens in that movie.
I think it's going to be good. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. Thank you, Raj. We appreciate you. Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save on commercial auto insurance from Progressive. Get a fast quote at progressivecommercial.com. What is Lane Kiffin doing? We'll tell you about that coming up next.
Thursday night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26. Hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick with special guest NFL VP Mike North. What's your team's toughest stretch and where are the wins? We'll tell you Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Hey, Abdalla, can you explain to me what Lane Kiffin's doing?
I don't know, man. Like, he's digging up some stuff you don't want to dig up, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so here's the situation. Vanity Fair has a interview with Lane Kiffin that's been published. I guess they sat down with him for like 3 hours.
Why?
To talk about
Was
him.
he upset he got snubbed for the Met Gala?
I don't know. Maybe he's gonna open up a yoga studio in Baton Rouge while he's
should do
coaching.
well.
Yeah. I've heard he likes hot yoga. That's what Lane's all about.
That sounds about right.
Is hot yoga. So, I mean, if there's one thing about Lane Kiffin, and we'll get into why he was in the news yesterday, but like my overall thought on Lane Kiffin is he's in some ways like the Music Man. He sells you a certain story, and if you're familiar with the musical, The Music Man, he'll sell you 76 trombones in a big parade, and then he'll skip town with the money when you're not looking.
Yep.
And that's essentially what Lane Kiffin did, leaving Ole Miss to then go to LSU for the payday when he had a chance with the team last season that could have won a national title. They're good enough. They just were. Mississippi was good enough to win a title last season. Heading into the playoff, he skipped. He's now at LSU. They've got deeper pockets. They spend more on athletics, and they recruit better usually than, say, Ole Miss does in the SEC. And so in the article in Vanity Fair, what Kiffin said is that having to explain to recruits about the history of Oxford, Mississippi, and the name Ole Miss and the Rebels, to some, was a turnoff in the recruiting realm.
Yeah?
So that's what Kiffin said in Vanity Fair. Now, when those quotes went out yesterday, a lot of people online were pointing out to Lane Kiffin, not that he was saying they're reading all the mentions.
Oh, he does. No. He does. No. Don't get it twisted. Lane reads the mentions.
Are those in the mentions signing up for the yoga studio or not?
Well,
Because I think he's reading those as well.
yeah, he is.
They wanted to point out to Lane that, hey, Lane, you probably shouldn't be knocking the history of racism when it comes to Ole Miss when you're at an SEC school that could be linked to things of the past that you may have to explain to recruits as well.
Let's not be bringing up the history of SEC schools is all we're saying. Because most likely the history of a lot of SEC schools isn't great.
Right.
And when you're trying to recruit, just go off the strength of your football team and what you're going to do on the field and try to win championships and how much NIL money you're going to offer them. Just do that. Just do that. Just do that.
And so that happened yesterday. Today, Lane Kiffin released a statement to On3 apologizing. So Lane Kiffin already apologized for it, saying that he didn't mean to offend anyone at Ole Miss or anyone in Oxford, Mississippi. So that's the story with Lane. But I think it always goes back to what is Lane doing?
Yeah.
Because he seems to be his own worst enemy.
Mm-hmm.
And he is often in self-sabotage mode, where the things that he has to deal with are done because of his own doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And that's Lane Kiffin. And it's always been Lane Kiffin. It was Lane Kiffin at Tennessee. It was Lane Kiffin with the Raiders. It was Lane Kiffin at USC being left on the tarmac after a game when he was fired. It's always Lane Kiffin. That's just how Lane Kiffin is.
And look, let's not get it twisted here. This is not the reason that Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss because he couldn't recruit because of the history of Ole Miss.
Money.
He left Ole Miss
Money.
because LSU is a bigger platform. It's a bigger stage. And the number one reason is because they offered him more money. That's it. That's why he left. That's why Lane Kiffin is wearing purple and gold and not Ole Miss colors right now.
Now, I'll say this with Lane Kiffin. He's a hell of an offensive coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good ball coach, right? Like he's very good on the offensive side, and he was doing great things at Ole Miss. With that said, I think Lane Kiffin was perfect as the big dog in a small pond. Now you go to LSU, and the expectations are different. The resources are different. And I don't know if Lane Kiffin will be successful on the bigger stage in college football. I think what he had in Oxford was perfect for him, and that's why he was having the success. When he's been on the bigger stage in the past, it has not gone well for Lane Kiffin. And so he chased the money, and time will tell. If I had to guess, it will run its course, and he will then find his way back to a smaller spot where he will then have success again because he is a good football coach.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So that's the latest with Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, he's a better coach than Brian Kelly. I think he is.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think he'll have success there. I don't know if he's going to win a championship, but I think he's going to have success there.
I mean, Brian, you can't get worse than Brian Kelly. You really can't. In this day and age of college football, you really can't. And so, and good luck to Brian Kelly, because the report last week is he's using Claude to get ready for interviews and to figure out questions.
Claude asks the tough questions, Chris.
Yes, yeah. AI chatbots. He's prepping for that stuff. A little college corner. One other note that I had for you, Abdalla.
Oh, okay.
I saw this out of Southern California yesterday. I believe the reporter Scott Wolf is pointing to this, that donors within the USC athletic department program, they're not donating the way that they used to because they're upset about the USC Notre Dame rivalry ending.
Interesting.
And now look at the news story that we get yesterday from the LA Times. USC is trying to have conversations with Notre Dame again about putting the game back on the schedule. What a shock. The donors are not happy. They start to pull their funds. And now Lincoln Riley and the AD start to respond.
So Lincoln Riley got scared of Notre Dame. He pulled the game.
Yep.
And now boosters say, whoa. We like that game. Remember who you work for. Remember who pays your bills and who pays your contract. We want that game. But now the problem is, because of scheduling.
Both teams have kind of moved on with scheduling, so the next openings would be like 2030.
Which is fine. I mean, look, the important thing is that it's in motion, that game is going to be back at a certain point, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the sad part for the game itself, now, if you're a Notre Dame fan, if you're a USC fan, if you're a college football fan, it is one of the great games of college football.
It is.
The Iron Bowl is a great game. The game between Michigan and Ohio State is a great game. There's various rivalries all over college football that are fantastic, and why the sport's great. It's just sad that the game between USC and Notre Dame has played through like world wars, and the reason it's going to stop is because Lane Kiffin was afraid of his schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Where like they played in the 30s and 40s through world wars.
Yeah.
Yet Lane Kiffin was afraid of Notre Dame. That's the sad part to it. It's Bleck Abdalla. What's next for LeBron James? We talk about that coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM, Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck, along with Adam Abdalla, live from Chicago, broadcasting each and every day from downtown Chicago until 3 Eastern, and then we'll hand it off to Jim Rome right here on Westwood One Sports. You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Tonight in the NBA, the Timberwolves and the Spurs face off in San Antonio. That series tied 2 games apiece. The game's on at 8 Eastern, Game 5. Spurs and Timberwolves. Last night in the NBA, the Cavs beat the Pistons 112-103. That's now a tied 2 games apiece series as they head towards Game 5 tomorrow. And then the Thunder last night, they beat the Lakers 115-110. They sweep out the Lakers. The Thunder move on to the conference finals. So now they await the winner of the Timberwolves and the Spurs series. And the Thunder to this point in this playoff run. They are undefeated, 2 sweeps. The first time a team has done that since 2017, when LeBron James and the Cavs were the returning champs, and they swept through the first 2 rounds. So the Thunder look awesome, and now they wait. And they essentially look like the team that has the best chance to win the NBA Finals coming up in the next month or so. I mean, they look unstoppable. How about the fact that, like, it's not only just the top guys for the Thunder, they are getting consistent help from the depth pieces as well, having great games throughout these playoffs. And they're doing all of this with their second best player not playing.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams hasn't played in this series.
No.
Didn't matter. A.J. Mitchell had 28 last night. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 35. Went to the foul line 15 times. You know, so like the Thunder are just so deep and they're so good. And that's where they are as they now wait in the conference finals. Oklahoma City sweeps the Lakers. And we turn our attention to Los Angeles. And what's next for the Lakers and building that team? And what's next for LeBron James?
And I think we'll, find out eventually. Obviously, he was very vague about it in his post-game comments and saying, what he's going to do. But I think that this is a situation now where the Lakers need to decide what they're going to do, and LeBron needs to decide what he's going to do. And I think it's very obvious what LeBron is going to do. He's not retiring. I don't know if LeBron is an emotional person, if he's going to, break down into tears or whatever when he's in his final game. But you could tell, last night was not an emotional night for him. It didn't feel like it was his last night playing in the NBA. You feel like when when it's going to be someone's last night playing in the NBA. You knew when that was Kobe's last night. Obviously he announced it.
Yeah.
So you knew it was his last night. But when it's someone's last night, a retirement night in a given sport. They're way more emotional than what LeBron was showing last night. I have no doubt in my mind that LeBron is coming back, and it's just a matter of where. And it would be in the Lakers' best interest for them to announce that they're moving on from LeBron and going to build this team around Luka, and whether or not he wants Austin Reeves to stay around, whether they want Austin Reeves to stay around. Obviously, they're not going to play their hand there because he could be used in a trade. And so where LeBron ends up, whether he goes back to Cleveland to end his career there, whether he goes to Golden State, whether he goes back to Miami, whether he goes wherever, he's not done playing basketball. A 41-year-old averaged 24 points and 7 rebounds, or 7 assists and 7 rebounds in the playoffs this year. He's not done playing basketball.
I agree with you. I don't think that LeBron is finished. Let's take a listen to LeBron last night speaking after the game on his future.
You guys asked me about it, and I've answered questions. Yeah, I don't think I've come out and like, oh, retirement is coming. With my future, I don't know, obviously. This is obviously we're still fresh from, obviously losing, and I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously, as it stands right now tonight. I got a lot of time. I'll sit back, like I think I said it last year after we lost, I think, to Minnesota, to go back and recalibrate with my family and talk with them and spend some time with them. And then when the time comes, obviously, you guys know what I decide to do.
And that's LeBron James last night. I agree with you, Adam, listening to that. It doesn't sound like someone who's retiring. It doesn't sound like someone who's finished, defeated, knowing that his career's over. He can still play.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James is great. And he was very good this season. An all-time great, and he can still play at the highest level at age 41. You got to give him credit for that. Unfortunately, that is not good enough to win in the current state of the NBA. How did we start this conversation? We started this conversation by pointing out the depth of the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've got great players, they got great depth pieces, and they're all young. That's what you need now. And that's what you see around the league. It's the teams of the best players from 10 to 15 years ago that are the ones struggling. Look at all the spots.
Yeah.
LeBron, the Lakers just got swept. Durant with the Rockets couldn't get out of the first round because they ran into the Lakers. The Warriors didn't even make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So like all those guys from that previous like generation who were the like faces of the league who are still hanging around, because that's where we're in a spot in NBA history and sports history where players are now playing so much longer than they used to that the decades and the years are bleeding into one another, right? So like in the past, a guy like LeBron or Steph Curry or Kevin Durant, they would have retired by now. But like you're coming off the heels of the Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bryant era, where those guys made it to like 20 seasons in the league. And now it's shaped into this new era where like James Harden has played 17 years in the NBA. Is James Harden anywhere close to retiring?
Doesn't look like it.
No chance. I think Durant's going to keep playing. Steph Curry's going to play for another few years. And LeBron is still kicking at 41. So, like, I think the expectations on how, if you're building a team and what the role of those players are within that team, like LeBron being the third guy with this Lakers group here towards the end of the season made the most sense. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, as far as getting paid, it's not going to make the most sense, right? Like these Hall of Fame level players who are still hanging around in the NBA, they want to get paid like they've been getting paid throughout their entire career. Top money.
Yeah.
It's tough to put together a group of guys who are at that age for that price and be competitive in today's NBA. That's just what it is. Look around at the teams that are successful and have a chance to win a championship. You have the Thunder, young. Spurs, young. Timberwolves, young. Mm-hmm. Right? Best players are young. You look at the Knicks. Jalen Brunson, younger guy. Mm-hmm. This is their best player. The Cavs. Okay, sure. Maybe you can make the argument that the backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, they're older but
guys.
Detroit's young. That's a young squad. Most of the teams that have gotten to this point in the NBA playoffs are all teams built of younger players coming into their own. And so, like, when you look at LeBron and his future, he can still play. And I agree with you. I think it's going to be somewhere else. I don't think it's going to be in LA. I think it's going to be Luka's turn now. They're going to shape the roster around Luka. And LeBron will go somewhere else. And there's various places and teams that he can go to, right? Like, we can run down the list. Could it be Golden State to connect back with Steph Curry and Draymond and Jimmy Butler and see if they can, win something? Mm-hmm. They also have Porzingis there. Yeah. So, like, they've got a lot of high-priced players already. Does he go somewhere like back to Cleveland if Cleveland doesn't win? Is New York in play if they don't win a championship? Denver, they flamed out of the playoffs early. It sounds like they're going to make roster changes this offseason. Philadelphia, the same thing. Their court's kind of set. Maxey, George, and Embiid are locked into contracts. How do you change that? Well, what if you were able to sign and trade with a guy here for a high-priced player like LeBron? So I think LeBron will have options. I just don't think he's going to stay in LA going forward.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's probably the fifth of 5 options. I think that there are 5 realistic options. Maybe it's the fourth of 5 options. Because to me, of the 5 options, ranking them, to me, number 1, I still believe number 1 is Cleveland. I still think that if you're going with the guy started in Cleveland, and then Miami, Cleveland, LA, like all this stuff, if you end on him going back to Cleveland, and we all know that, yes, can they make the money work and can they do all that, but we know what the economics mean for the city and what it means for that arena and everything to get LeBron to come back and what it means for a year or even 2 years. It would probably just be a year. It would be huge. And so him going back there would be great. That's number 1 to me. Number 2 would be partnering up with his friends and playing with Draymond and Steph and with, being coached by Steve Kerr and at the old folks home in Golden State because they're old. They're old.
We're the same age.
Oh, yeah. We're old.
You and I are the same age as LeBron James.
We're not playing in the NBA with a bunch of 20-year-olds. Okay? So that's number 2 for me, if I would rank them. Number 3 would probably be staying in LA because that's where his family is. And he doesn't have to, they would have to make it work.
Are you saying a little clip show?
They would have to make either LA, either the Lakers or the Clippers. They would have to make it work.
Fifth pick?
Maybe.
All right, continue on. I've got something to add to that.
Maybe. Number 4 would be Miami. A reunion with Miami is familiar with Pat Riley, all that good stuff. And number 5 would be the Knicks. Madison Square Garden, gets to play there, the Mecca, all that good stuff. I don't know if that one works. That's one's just throwing it out there in case the Knicks end up going to the finals, flame out. They need to add an extra piece. He wants to play in New York just to see what that's like. He's never played. He's obviously played there, but never been a part of the Knicks. So he could play there. I think that's the last resort for him. But I think the other 4 at least make some sense.
Okay, so hold the idea of the Clippers just for a second. Do you remember our old friend Chad Ford?
Yeah.
Used to cover the NBA draft for ESPN back in the day. I think he lives in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Ford was always a great guest on the NBA draft and all that stuff. He put out there yesterday that the Bucks are interested in trading the 5th pick and Giannis.
Ooh.
So because we had the story yesterday from Shams Charania on ESPN saying that the Bucks are open for business in trading Giannis and that they would be interested in taking back the 5th pick, which the Clippers got out of this year's draft lottery, and they would send Giannis to the Clippers.
Okay.
So that's from Chad Ford. I would say that would be interesting. If you got Giannis to LA with the Clippers and Kawhi is there, would that be something that LeBron, having his family in Los Angeles, all of his production stuff with Maverick Carter, all that stuff, the sideshow stuff, could stay where they're at.
Yeah.
And he could just go across town to the Intuit Dome and play for the Clippers. Is that a possibility? If that were on the table?
I think so. I think that's a realistic possibility because of where his family is located and not having to either move his family or be away. If not moving them, then being away from them for the final year of his career. Because I think that this is about comfort, and I think this is also about legacy, too. Like, the legacy portion is going back to Cleveland and finishing his career where he started, in Cleveland. Legacy, trying to win with Steph and Draymond and Steve Kerr. Legacy, trying to win one with, if Giannis and he goes to LA with the Clippers and stays with his family, that's part of legacy, but also with family. The Heat are always doing something. If they can maneuver and get some players there around him, then there's always that. So, and Bam and all that, like there's something you can try to win with. So there's always a mix of legacy and trying to win one last championship. And we just saw Donovan Mitchell put up 39 points and a half.
He was awesome last
night. So, it can be done.
How great was that?
There's a fine line of mix between legacy and trying to squeak out one more championship before you officially retire.
310-840-4910. You can text the show from the 229. LeBron ain't going anywhere. It's a lock. He's coming back to the Lakers. All right. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
From the 615, I think the Lakers need him to move on so Luka can take over. I also think they should package Reeves with some draft picks to go after Jaylen Brown. Yeah, that's the one. I'll say that. Interesting text from the 615. We have yet to bring up the Boston Celtics in this conversation. And if we go back to last week with Jaylen Brown talking on all of his different live streams.
Argue with your grandma.
Yeah, argue with your grandma. Thank you, Jalen. I would say I'm not sold that the Celtics are going to bring back Tatum and Brown as a pairing for next season. I think there's something going on there between the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown, and whatever's going on there with them losing in the first round to the Sixers.
Okay.
I think there's something there.
Argue with your grandma.
I can't see LeBron as a Celtic.
I can't either. But it is interesting if the Lakers let LeBron walk and then they are able to, say, make a move and trade for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown would make a lot of sense next to Luka Doncic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right? Like he does the stuff that Luka doesn't.
For sure. Absolutely.
So like that could make a lot of sense as well. So you can always text the show at 310-840-4910. You mentioned LeBron's legacy. I didn't consider this until I sat down and looked at it. LeBron has now played 8 seasons with the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's his longest stretch with any one team in the NBA.
Yeah.
Now, he's played more seasons combined with the Cavs, but this 8-year stretch at the end of his career with the Los Angeles Lakers, I guess here's the thing that I was thinking about, Abdalla. You and I, we mentioned it. We're both 41. We're the same age as LeBron. We have grown up with LeBron, right? Like, we're kids who grew up in the 90s watching basketball. Michael was the guy. And then LeBron takes over, and he has been playing in the NBA for our entire adult lives. Mm-hmm. So we're like used to it. I'm guessing there's a lot of young people who don't even remember LeBron in his first run with the Cavs.
Oh, no.
Or basketball fans. Mm-mm. Or even like the outrage that took place when he had that show with
The Decision
with Jim Gray.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there in that button-up shirt, the button-down shirt with the it looked like a picnic.
Yeah, the checkered shirt.
Yeah, tablecloth.
Yeah, he was asked about biting his nails and all that
and
stuff.
then he goes to Miami.
Yep.
And how LeBron was a villain.
Oh, yeah.
For all the years in Miami.
That's why.
People did not like those Heat teams.
And that's why when talking about his legacy, going back to Cleveland, to me, is like the Hollywood fairy tale.
But he already did that. He won championship with Kyrie.
I understand that.
They did that story.
I get it.
You don't need to see it again.
But it just puts another ending again. You go back.
Another ending again.
You go back.
It's over.
Yeah. How many times have Kiss said that they're done touring and then they go tour again? How many times has Jay-Z put out his final album? How many times have we seen the Eagles farewell tour? I mean, come on, man.
So you think Cleveland makes the most sense?
To me, Cleveland is number one, just from a storyline standpoint. They also have players that he can win with.
They do. And James Harden will be a free agent this summer, too. So if you needed to move money off the books, you could let James Harden walk. You could sign LeBron James, and you could get someone else to play. I mean, you don't even need to play a point guard. You could just have LeBron be the lead guard and do that.
Like, if it was just a bunch of scrubs and LeBron, I would say, no, it doesn't make sense. He's not just going to go and try to make a play-in and then get swept out of the playoffs in the first round. That'd be nothing. But they like Donovan Mitchell being there and actually having something to build around, it makes sense from a basketball standpoint and from a storyline standpoint for LeBron to go back to Cleveland.
I'm guessing, 4-time champ, LeBron James. I'm guessing for those listening to us in Los Angeles that when you look at the all-time great Lakers, because I've seen the posts that have been posted on social media today about LeBron James, in his 8 seasons in LA, in many of the categories, he's like second, third for like all-time stats for the Lakers. Rebounds, assists, points, all this stuff, right? I'm guessing when you ask a Laker fan where LeBron ranks as far as their all-time favorite Lakers, he's going to be pretty far down the list. You know what I mean? Like I'm guessing that's the vibe. Because even though it's 8 years and he accomplished a lot as far as he can still play.
He got them a championship.
In the bubble.
It's still a championship.
Yeah, it's an asterisk championship.
It's a banner.
Okay.
It's still a banner.
Yeah, it's a little Mickey Mouse championship for LeBron.
Still a banner.
Yeah, it's there. It happened.
It's still a banner.
They were in the bubble. They were all there on the same rest, and everything was all situated. Yeah, they won it. Yeah, COVID was weird, man. It was a weird time. COVID was strange.
Tom Haberstroh from Yahoo Sports breaks down LeBron's career in each location and his Hall of Fame probability in each location.
Okay.
And based on...
I'm guessing it's like Tom Brady, right? Where you could break down Brady's career into 3 separate portions, and all 3 are Hall of Fame level worthy, right?
So, yeah, 4. He's got 4 locations.
So LeBron has 4 chapters to his career.
4 chapters.
Yeah.
All of them are Hall of Fame worthy. Yep. The first Cleveland, 7 seasons, 99.3.
Yeah, he was incredible.
Miami, 95.6.
A beast.
The second Cleveland stint, 50.5%.
Oh, interesting.
And this Lakers stint, 86.5%.
Yeah, he's been great.
Yeah.
He's been great in the last few years, and there's no doubt.
And so, I mean, yeah, you can say where they rank as far as fandom. I mean, how many... It's like talking about how we talked about the Steelers when we were at the draft and nobody had Aaron Rodgers jerseys. Like, but he's been there for 8 years. I'm sure that there are... The difference is, if you were a kid that was born any time in the last 15 years...
Yeah.
LeBron's been a Laker.
He's been your guy.
He's been your guy.
For more than half of that.
Exactly.
Raj points out to us that from a research study on NBA demographics, nearly 35% of all NBA fans are from the age 13 to 34. So those are your like prime sports watching years.
Yeah.
You know, once you get to like age 13, you know everything about every team. You're following, you're watching all the games, you're living and dying with each game.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron James, for that group of people, is a Laker.
He's the guy.
Like I still, 8 seasons in, I still don't think of him as a Laker. I think of him as a Cav. Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. The latest from the NFL schedule being released. We will give you the latest information, the latest games coming up next.
Thursday night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26, hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick, with special guest NFL VP Mike North. What's your team's toughest stretch, and where are the wins? We'll tell you Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
We call this week Trickle Week.
Easy.
Drip drops and trickle. When it comes to the NFL schedule. That's right, the NFL schedule will be released on Thursday. That's right, yeah. We can't wait to get the full schedule, but throughout the week, the NFL is letting little drips and drops come out for the NFL schedule until we get to Thursday, and it's just trickling out. Each and every day, we get something new that trickles out. Last night, Eagles-Cowboys will be the second game on Thanksgiving. That was announced. That game will be on Fox. As always, the Cowboys at home on Thanksgiving. They will be hosting the Eagles. We found that out yesterday. We also found out that the second Thursday night football game of the season will be Buffalo hosting Detroit. And that will be a game on Thursday Night Football where the Buffalo Bills will open their new stadium. The new stadium, by the way, looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does.
It looks great. They were showing photos of it yesterday. It looks awesome.
Can't wait.
Yep. So that trickled out. The announcement there. So that's week 2, the first Thursday. That's the second Thursday night game. The first, what would be that broadcast, will be, I think that's the first broadcast from Prime Video for the week, right? Because they don't have an opener on Thursday Night Football because that game goes to the other networks because NBC runs the opening game with Seattle that's playing in that game. I believe that's the way that works.
Correct.
So we had that yesterday. And then today, we got another trickle. The Broncos and the Chiefs will be the first Monday Night Football game.
Oh!
And as Adam Schefter reports on ESPN, the game site has still not been determined as the NFL is still finalizing its schedule before Thursday's release. But we know that the Broncos and the Chiefs will face off on Monday Night Football to start the opening weekend in the NFL. Yes. The
It'll be the NFL's first game in Cambodia.
No. I don't think it's going to be overseas.
Okay.
I think it's going to be here. It'll be either in Denver or in Kansas City.
Okay.
But there you go. That's the information we have today.
Okay.
I don't think we'll get any more trickling out today.
Easy.
Because
I don't know
of the fact that there are no other
trickles
upfronts to be announced today. Disney had theirs.
Okay.
Tomorrow there are 3.
Oh wow!
So tomorrow I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of trickling out.
Full stream.
Easy. And what?
So there could be some more trickles tomorrow on Wednesday.
Yes,
we
and
get
then
the
Thursday.
full release Thursday.
Yeah, it's
if
full
there's
go.
any more trickles on Friday, please see a doctor.
Yeah. Yes. You have to see a medical professional if it's still trickling out on Friday.
Go see a doctor.
We will get the full schedule coming up on Thursday. And make sure you check out on Thursday night, 8 Eastern, Westwood One Sports has a special presentation. The NFL Schedule Release 26, hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick, will announce and break down the schedule, including primetime, international, holiday games. They'll have guest appearances by players, coaches, and other Westwood One names you'll recognize. That's Thursday night, 8 Eastern, right here on Westwood One Sports. And also NFL VP of Scheduling, Mike North, is scheduled to join the show. So he will break down everything that goes into building and creating the NFL schedule. And that's this Thursday, 8 Eastern, right here on Westwood One Sports. So like Abdalla said, if anything trickles out past that point, see a medical professional.
Go see a doctor.
So that's the latest from the National Football League when it comes to the schedule heading into this week. So there is loose rumor and reporting locally from both the Boston area and Chicago suggesting that people know that the either Bears or Patriots are playing against Seattle in the opening game.
Yeah.
Conflicting reports.
Yeah. Well, it can only be one of two because all the other options are taken.
I don't know, man. It is, but you're right. By the process of elimination,
it can only be the Patriots or the Bears
to play and face off against Seattle. Not the Chargers. They've already been slotted somewhere. Aren't they an opponent?
I guess
Seattle
it could be the
play?
Chargers, but that's lame.
Okay. Well, but I'm just saying that if you look at the teams that Seattle will host this season and the possibility of those teams lining up,
yes,
the Chargers are still in play.
But I think that everybody's like, that's lame, so they're not going to do that. I think the idea of having Caleb Williams, the Bears, they were like 2 throws away from making the NFC Championship game. All the hype around them going into this season. They're going to be everybody's sexy pick. And then the other option is you've got a rematch of the Super Bowl right after. It was the first game. It was the last game. It can be the first game.
I kind of like that.
Of this year. And also, I don't know anything else surrounding the Patriots going on right now and,
really?
and their coaching staff that could be talked about leading into that game.
Interesting.
And the Chargers, what?
That's a good football team.
I understand it's a good
football, Abdalla. Come on.
Well, here's the thing.
Let's go. It's a good football team.
Here's the thing.
Hit the music. Yes.
Here's the thing. You want the nerds to be hyped? You've got that defense against the new Mike McDaniel offense.
Oh yeah.
For the Chargers, that's a way to start the season.
Hold on. What was that noise that you just made?
That was that's how you start the season, bro. You want to start the season with some football nerddom. That offense that he's taking over he gets his hands on Justin Herbert. Whew. Oh baby. Against that defense. Whew.
Ooh, oh baby.
Getting me excited for some more trickles.
So that's what's being reported from both in Chicago and in the Boston area. Each city has people in both of those spots saying that they know for a fact that the Patriots in Boston and then in Chicago that the Bears are playing Seattle for the opener.
Yeah.
Maybe the NFL throws a curveball and it's a 3-team event. And it's the Chicago Bears, the New England Patriots.
It's a triple threat match.
And it's the Seattle Seahawks to open the season. Because somebody's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody is incorrect.
It'd be so funny if it was the Chargers. It would be
That's why I said
so
it.
funny.
It's possible. You mentioned as far as the Patriots go.
Yeah.
As if there's nothing else going on with the New England Patriots. Do we have an update with Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini? Is that what you're suggesting?
Is there news? Is there news to report?
Is there news?
Is there?
Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's.
Is there more? Is there news?
We're not proud of the sound effect, but it works.
Where in the world is Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini?
This is coming from the New York Post.
Oh, no, they don't have a sound effect.
Did you see yesterday that the New York Post posted photos of Diana? Here's the headline. Diana Rossini kisses husband on Mother's Day as pair is seen for the first time since the Mike Vrabel scandal.
Yeah.
So it's pictures of Rossini giving a hug and a smooch to her husband.
Yep.
Where in the world is Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini?
Outside of their New Jersey home,
Dear
Rossini
Lord.
carrying their youngest child. There's a little kiss during Mother's Day.
Yep.
A source said they have not been hiding. People in the community have said they've been very resilient as a family.
People in the community.
Oh, they're friends, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm trying to see what shirt he's wearing.
You can't see the shirt that he's wearing?
I can't see the. It's like it's a graphic tee of some form.
Okay, it's not a Patriots shirt?
No. Oh, God. Could you imagine?
What if it was? It has been floated out there that this is a PR stunt. Do you believe that? That this is a staged photo? That the paparazzi's there waiting for the smooch?
And that this is staged? I don't.
Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini.
I cannot confirm nor deny that this is staged.
Yeah.
Or not. I just know that it doesn't. The eyes are closed.
Can I say it's refreshing that it's not Vrabel in the photos?
Yeah, it is. It's nice to see them out there. It's nice to see them together.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that, maybe
Good for them.
They're trying to work this out.
Yeah. Hey, everyone's got their own situation, right?
Listen, man, we talked about how to solve this situation.
Raj, don't just text us that. You have to say that.
Crack a mic, bro.
Come on, crack a mic.
Crack a mic, bro.
I just asked a question. That's
Crack
all.
a mic.
I
Crack a
just
mic.
wondered if the head coach of the New England Patriots maybe got jealous seeing these photos. Did that,
No,
stir up some
this is the
emotion?
life.
Vrabel's jealous.
No, this is the life. No, you can't.
Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini.
You guys
the life
asked
you
if this
chose.
was staged. I'm wondering if it was staged with another motive.
No,
Jealousy.
this is the life. This is the life you chose, bro. This is the life you chose.
Raj is the one who said, "Oh, this is romantic."
Yes, he
I
did.
said
Raj
love,
did.
man.
So when he saw the boat,
This is
he
love.
said it was a romantic boat situation.
It was romantic. It was romantic.
Hey, man, for all we know, they're all in the up and up.
Hookups are in hotel
What,
rooms.
that they're all
boat
in agreement
rides,
on this?
That's love, man.
There's a chair involved.
Wait. We got Raj to say hookups on the air. That's great. That's awesome.
Say it one more time, Raj. Say it one more
Raj has
time.
spent too much time with us.
Yeah, I think
All
so.
right.
Interrupting
I'm just
you,
saying,
Raj.
hookups, hotel room, boat rides, love.
Love. Yeah, I mean, what if it's all in the up and up? What if the whole thing is not actually a scandal and it's something that all parties involved
I'm
are
just
aware
wondering
of?
if this was an
Then they
ulterior motive
should've-
to make Vrabel jealous.
Then you should have come out and said that by now, so the paparazzi leave you alone.
Yeah, that's probably the truth.
You should have come out and said this by now, so that the 2 months I didn't have to waste 2 months of my life with this.
I'm not wasting my time with it.
No, I think it's hilarious.
I think we're enjoying ourselves.
I think we're
right
having
now.
a great time now. And now that they've kissed and made up,
Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini.
now that they've kissed and made up, apparently,
Who?
Diana Rossini and her husband.
Yeah, but what about Raj's point?
That
What if Big Mike is jealous?
You can't be jealous.
male.
What if he's jealous?
Well, deal with it, man. This is the life you chose. You're the cheater.
Well, if that's what's taking place, it could also be the setup that they have.
Okay.
If If you understand what I'm leaning towards. Could all be on the up and up. We don't know.
Could be.
You don't know.
Could all be very open.
Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. What'd you say?
You heard me.
We preview the Spurs and the Timberwolves, Game 5 tonight. We'll talk about that next.
Thursday night, it's a Westwood One special presentation. NFL Schedule Release 26, hosted by Scott Graham and Mike Golick, with special guest NFL VP Mike North. What's your team's toughest stretch, and where are the wins? We'll tell you Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Check out the podcast if you missed any part of today's show on Apple and Spotify. Also, YouTube live stream is up there, Bleck and Abdalla's show. Check out our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Thank you to Raj and Laura for producing today's show, Bleck and Abdalla. Up next here on Westwood One Sports, Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show coming up in about 12 minutes right here on Westwood One Sports. Bleck and Abdalla will be back tomorrow noon to 3 Eastern. Tonight in the NBA, Game 5 of the Spurs and the Timberwolves live from San Antonio. 8 Eastern tip time. The series is tied 2 games apiece. In Game 4, Victor Wembanyama threw an elbow in the second quarter. He was ejected from the game. The Timberwolves held on, even though at points in the game, the Spurs were playing well. And I think at one point they were up by 8, maybe 10 points. And then Anthony Edwards had to show up in the fourth quarter. He went off, and the Timberwolves tied the series 2 games apiece. Wemby will be back tonight and starting for the Spurs. Yesterday it was announced that there will be no discipline handed down to Wemby after throwing the elbow outside of the ejection from the game. So the Spurs full go, Timberwolves full go. This should be a great game. Game 5 of this series. The series tied at 2.
Yeah, it should be. I hope it doesn't go like the last game in San Antonio where the Spurs just kind of blew them out.
Well, that's being said, did you see the point spread for tonight?
It's 9.5. Yeah, it's 9.5 right now at DraftKings. And I would imagine that Minnesota comes out with a little bit extra. I mean, listen, Wembanyama's got a little extra rest. He didn't play in 3/4 of that game in the last game, so he's a little bit more rested than everybody else coming back from the ejection from the last game. And, you know, after this, Game 6 isn't until Friday. So some extra rest for everybody because this doesn't go with the extra day off, this one day now because they're stretching these out.
To get
so
to
Game
Sunday.
7 is Sunday now. Yeah. So the NBA doing this on purpose now to get Game 7s on Sunday for both this series and the Detroit-Cleveland series should it get to a Game 7. So I'm hoping it's a good game. It's weird because I know that the Spurs would give the Thunder the best matchup. But as many times I've said, Anthony Edwards is my favorite player to watch in the NBA. I am rooting for the Minnesota Timberwolves to keep it close and to hopefully win and get. Like, I want this to go 7. I want to see as many games of this series as possible. I think the series is fun.
Yeah, it is fun, and I think it gives you what you want from a basketball series. You get good defense. You get 2 teams that are tough. You get a young player who's coming into his own, a player who is in his prime, that being an Anthony Edwards. And Anthony Edwards rising to the moment is fun to watch.
Yes.
Like in the fourth quarter in Game 4, seeing Ant call for the ball, get the ball, take 2 dribbles, a crossover, rise and fire, and then bury 3-point shots, and then look to the crowd, and he's talking trash, and he's getting everyone fired up.
It's great.
Like that's why when we talk about the players that we love watching in the NBA, that Ant is a part of that. He's one of the leaders as far as guys who are enjoyable to watch in today's game. And then you add in this extra element of Wembanyama being something we've never seen before. That's really what it is.
Absolutely.
It's and I say this in the most complimentary way possible. He's a freak.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Freak.
Alien.
He's an absolute freak. The ability to handle the ball, the defense, the passing, the 3-point shooting. And that's why, for the league to have this Spurs team, I think it's important for the league because I think they want the Spurs to hopefully take out the Thunder.
Yeah.
So they don't have the Thunder in the finals.
Yep. And that's exactly why Wembanyama wasn't suspended.
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a part of the gimmick there is that if you suspend Wemby for a game or whatever, there's a good chance it will tilt the series towards Minnesota and they're going to win the series.
Yep.
With that said, usually 2-2 ties heading into Game 5. The winner of Game 5, I'm pretty sure they'll show it tonight. It's always like, 79% of series are then won by the team that wins Game 5. So I can't wait to watch that later on tonight. T-Wolves, Spurs, 8 Eastern. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Hey, Abdalla, do you have any Zoo news?
I always have Zoo news, Chris.
Oh!
Well, hello, Mr. Lion. Here's the latest edition of the Zoo News.
What do you have?
Let's go down to New Orleans where a super rare zebra giraffe was born.
A what?
A super rare zebra giraffe was
Okay,
born.
is it a giraffe with zebra colors or is it a zebra with a very long neck?
Well, first of all, get your mind out of the gutter. A recent birth at the Audubon Nature Institute in New Orleans has the world of zoology pretty excited right now and is capturing the attention of everyone in Louisiana, the U.S., and even the world because a super rare 3-month-old zebra giraffe is making its way out of the nursery and into the world, and it's an okapi. An okapi looks like a hybrid of a zebra and a giraffe. It's not what you think it is, where a zebra and a giraffe got together and did that. So if you look up what an okapi is, it's like a zebra with a really long neck that looks like a horse, zebra, giraffe hybrid. They're extremely rare. They're one of the large male. Exactly. They're endangered. And New Orleans has this zoo, this Audubon Zoo has this vast, huge enclosure where they keep
Vast
giraffes
and huge. Yes.
and this animal, and it can roam, and it's like 26, 27 acres. And it's a conservation project for the okapi specifically. And this is huge because they've been trying to breed for a long time. And this is a big deal in the okapi community.
Okay.
So congratulations to Sasha.
I'm glad
who has made her way out of the nursery after 3 months and is now roaming the Okapi Conservation Project at the Audubon Zoo in New Orleans, Chris. And that is what's new at the zoo.
Yes.
Get your mind out of the gutter. I mean, you're talking about zebras and giraffes.
Okay, when you said a zebra giraffe, the first thing I thought of was, does it look like a zebra with a long neck, or does it look like a giraffe that has stripes?
I think you were thinking about zebras and giraffes getting together.
No, I wasn't.
I think you were.
But you're the one that went down that path.
I think that's what you were thinking about.
It's not what I was thinking about.
I'm sure
I appreciate
loves this lead-in.
The Zoo Deuce. Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon Eastern.
Maybe.
Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show is coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.